Greetings, viewers and listeners. Meathook Jim here, the Wrestle Horror Podcast. With me, as always, my co-host Donnie Hoover. Donnie, we've got a horror actress with us this time around.
Yeah, I say we're kind of changing it up. We've been on the since we were at the Arnold Sports Festival. It's been a lot of wrestling chatter and stuff. So I'm kind of getting the itch for some horror and haunt stuff. So we're going to switch it up today.
Absolutely, and it's right now. It's late March, but hey, horror never stops. So
Nope.
I would like to introduce everybody to Jessica Stabbit. Jessica, how are you this evening?
Hi, I am doing great. How are you guys?
Ready for some spooky stuff.
Oh yeah.
Always.
So let's get started. What got you into horror?
Oh my gosh. So it like usual, it started when I was young. And the first film I ever saw was Jaws. So I know that's not something like a slasher film, but it's a scary great white shark that's just no one can kill, So that was the only film my grandparents would let me watch that was horror related, right? So I just became obsessed with it. I watched it. I pretended I was in Jaws. I had the boat going in my living room. It was great. So then I grew up and then I moved on to The Exorcist, which is still a favorite of mine. Love it. Then I moved into Child's Play. And then as I grew up, I just started watching Friday the 13th, Halloween. Then I was allowed to watch those movies. So there's just something about it. I love being scared. I love the jump scares. I love slashers. It's my favorite type of film. I could never get into romantic comedies. Action is cool sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I do like some action, but I just love the scary stuff. So since I was a child, I've super been into it.
So your favorite genre would then be slasher films.
Yes. Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise.
See, I knew I picked a good one.
Yes.
I'm a slasher guy too, and Friday the 13th is my thing. That's my favorite.
Yes, absolutely. I love Friday the 13th. We have, just like you have Mask. We have an array of Jason Mask. I've actually was in a Friday the 13th fan film back in 2016, which can be seen on YouTube as well. That's also on my IMDb. I was the final girl, and that was fun to film. I worked with some great actors in that, but yeah, I don't know. I just love Jason Voorhees.
Right. What's not to love?
Yeah, exactly. He's quiet,
Yeah. Just like you like your men. You'd like your men. Yeah, just be quiet. If somebody messes with me, tear their head off or something.
There you go. Exactly. I even did a photo shoot, Freddy versus Jason, with model Heather Renee Nance as well. And I was Jason, and I had this cool machete, and I still have it, and it has the fake blood all over it. So that's something that we kept on our wall too. So I just love Friday the 13th.
Nice.
So have you met any of the actors from any of the Friday the 13th movies?
Met Ari, CJ Graham, Kane Hodder. CJ's my favorite though. He's very, very sweet. Not saying the others aren't, but he's just my favorite. My kids actually met him at their first horror convention, Mad Monster in Arizona. And he just took to them so well. So I think that's why he really became a favorite, because he was so good with them.
Yep, for sure.
We've met Ari, and actually we on our 100th episode we had Ari Lehmann.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to listen to that one.
Oh yeah. Yep, he was fun to talk to. I got to meet him and Adrian King we were at Camp Crystal Lake last year.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, they did the camp did a weekend where Adrian and Ari was actually there, and it was the first time they had been at Camp Crystal Lake since the original filming. And me and my wife, and I'd never been, so I was like, I'm going. so me and my wife went. That's where I got the license plate and their signatures and all that. And so they were
cool. cool.
Yeah, so that they were awesome. And like I said, being a big, Jason fan, even though he wasn't at Camp Crystal Lake really technically,
Right.
it was still I was in like my own little world. I was like zoned out the whole time.
Yeah, it's great. I love when you can do that. So my
Mhm.
husband and I worked at, this is way before COVID hit. We worked at this camp up north, and it was based on Camp Crystal Lake. And it was run by one of our friends. Her name's Maggie Mater. And she just set it all up, and it was so cool. And it was kind of like the video game, but in real life.
Mhm.
So I played different characters. I was a camp counselor that came out screaming, Jason's here. And then I was Pamela towards the end. My husband was Sackhead Jason. And it was so much fun. And we were literally just chasing campers around. Everybody was freaking out. It was so much fun.
Honestly, that sounds like an awesome.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And plus we have the video game, and I love it. I love playing. I'm not a huge video game person, but
Right.
I will play
Right.
that.
Yeah, I bought my daughter a PS4 for Christmas just so I could get the Friday the 13th game.
Absolutely. It's like, here you go. And it's like, so I'm going to use this. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. That's great.
So, I was looking at your IMDb, and
Mhm.
it says here that you won Miss Scarizona.
Yes, I did. So Miss Scarizona obviously is in Arizona, and it's the Mad Monster Horror Convention. So that's basically like mine and my family's home convention. They come every year. It's usually in the summer, and we always go, and we formed a special relationship with the owners. And back in 2017, so the first year I competed was 2016. So that's where Jessica Stabbit came about. She is a zombie Jessica Rabbit. So the first year, for my talent, I ate earthworms and crickets. That was my talent. I ate bugs. And yeah, it was quite interesting. So I didn't win, unfortunately, but it was an experience, and I met some awesome people. So then the next year I came back and I competed, and I won. And I was really surprised. And the panel consisted of Mark Patton and Felisa Rose Esposito from Sleepaway Camp, and then Levi Tinker, he works with Mad Monster, and PJ Souls. So those were the judges. So I had to impress them, and I can't believe I won. And so I got the crown. I got the sash, which was made by the set director for The Devil's Rejects, Rob Zombie movie. So I have all this stuff like on the wall and in cases. So I love it. And that was one of the last pageants they ever did for Mad Monster. But yeah, I'm so glad I won. So that's where Jessica Stabbit came about. So that's who Jessica Stabbit is.
Now, the year you won, did you do the worms and crickets again, or did you change it up?
I changed it up. So I sang, and I'm sure you guys have seen Roger Rabbit. I've seen that movie. So remember when Jessica Rabbit comes out on stage and she's singing to everyone? I sang that song. So then my husband, so he's a photographer as well. So he was part of my act, and he was up front taking pictures. And then when his flash went off, I turned into a zombie, and I pulled him on stage, and he made like guts out of like marshmallows, and he painted them and everything. And I was just ripping them out. And I accidentally ripped some of his beard hair out. And he was like, oh, he looked like he was in pain. I was like, oh, he's doing so good at this. But I really hurt him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that till after. But I won. So
there you go.
That was my act.
You're like, man, you were really acting on that pain. You're selling that pain. It looked believable.
Exactly. I was like, wow, you were good. He's like, no, you took a chunk of my beard out. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I feel so bad.
Nice.
So it looks like you and your husband stay really busy. I mean, you guys have just got so much going on. Like you've got an online store called Grave Dirt Clothing.
Yes, we do. So that's like our baby, and it's been around for at least 3 years now. This October will be 4. We sell occult merchandise, true crime memorabilia. We have a featured artist tab where you can actually find Morehouse Films, which is our production company, myself and him. Just items like prints that I've done, because I worked with Scout Taylor Compton a few years back and we did a photo shoot together. We have, oh my gosh, we have everything on there, mashups, like funny teas. So yeah, it's a great store and it has something for everyone.
So I've got to ask you, I mean, being so ensconced in the horror business, especially with children,
Yeah.
what do your kids think about all this?
They think it's interesting, but and they also use it to their advantage. Like, oh, my mom and dad do really scary stuff and they've been in these movies, so everyone's like, oh wow, really? And then it's like when their friends come over, we have a literal museum, just cases and collectibles, and they all just walk around looking at it. But our girls, they're very girly. So when you go to their room, it's unicorns, Disney, and princesses everywhere. So they learn a lot, but they're like, wow, that's really cool. But then they're like, we don't want to know any more about it.
They just dip their toe in the water and that's about it.
Exactly. We'll see what happens as they grow up. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 4 daughters and that's about the same. My youngest, she'll watch the scary movies with me and she'll go to a haunted house with me. And then one of my middle daughters does makeup, so she's good with the makeup and stuff.
That's
And
awesome.
Then, yeah, but the others, they're like, no. And then my granddaughter, she lives with us and we're raising her, and I think she's into it more than they are.
That's so funny.
Yeah, she always wants to watch. I scare her with them. I have a Chucky doll, and I set her up every now and again and scare her with it. But now I don't even phase her, and she's like, "Let's watch Chucky." I'm like, "No, you can't watch Chucky."
That is so funny because for some reason they're not scared of Chucky at all, and we have a doll too, and they're just like, whatever. And I'm like, really? But I'm like, you guys haven't seen the movie though, so you don't know.
Yep. I'll say at the start it was scaring her pretty good, but now she's been around it long enough. She's desensitized to it. And
it just doesn't phase her. That's good. That's good.
I was up there with them one Christmas and he had wrapped up Chucky again, and go ahead, open it, Haley. And she tore she first she looked at it, she said, and her mind was going, I know what this box is.
Oh my gosh. The wheels were turning.
She tore a little bit of piece of paper and it took off.
She's like, I'm out.
Right.
Bye.
Yep.
That's so great.
So, okay, you mentioned your production company, Morehouse Films. Where'd you get the name for that?
So I do work in the funeral industry. So more and mortuary. Plus, I mean, it just, the sound of it, Morehouse Films, it's all indie horror films. So we do have a YouTube channel as well that you can subscribe to, and we have some movies on there too. The Witch Cast, that was filmed back during COVID. We did a lot of movies when COVID hit. Granted, it had to happen at home, but it was fun. It's like, here's our movie set. And then we connected with other people across the world and our clips all just came together. So you can actually find The Witch Cast. It's one of those films. We worked with Rhiannon and Nicole from the Sinister Parlor podcast. And we worked with Sean Phillips, and he's a YouTuber. Tony Newton is the creator of all this. He lives in the UK and he's a director. So The Witch Cast, that was shown back in Halloween about 2 years ago. And our first film was Dark Web Mystery Box. That was Mort House's first film. And that was with Tony Newton and Vestor Pictures. So he asked us to partner up with him on that. That was our first film shot in isolation. And supposedly it's been dubbed on the internet as the first film shot in isolation, period. Don't know how true that is, but I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. And they're great. You can go on YouTube and you can find us. You can watch those films, free content.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I went on and researched Dark Web. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch the whole thing. But I did like skip to certain parts of it.
Yeah.
And ironically, back when COVID first hit and everybody got sent home and isolated and all that, that did cross my mind about when like horror films. I was like, I wonder how many, people are going to create horror films at their house and stuff like that. So being that if you guys got the first one out, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I honestly thought there'd be a lot more, but it doesn't seem like it really is.
Yeah. It seems like there's, it's just so hard to do it sometimes. Like, if you're at home, I do have a couple friends who filmed in isolation too, like in California and everything. But yeah, there weren't a lot, surprisingly.
So, okay, we've covered, it looks like, all right, well, let's move over to the paranormal side. And it says you guys have a brand called the Haunted Honeymooners.
Yes. So the Haunted Honeymooners came from our honeymoon. So we were married in 2017, actually at the convention I won Miss Arizona at, by Sid Haig.
How cool.
Married us. Yeah. So that following year, because after that, it seemed like we were super busy. Following year in June, we took a 2-week road trip and drove super road trip status to all the most haunted places in America. And we discovered these places from like Ghost Adventures, for example. We do watch Ghost Adventures. It's great to laugh at sometimes. Some of the stuff it's real, but I like seeing Aaron when Zach puts him in a room and he's like, just you go in there and lock the door. And it's just funny commentary. So we researched, and the first place we went to was Villisca Axe Murder House. So my husband came up with the name The Haunted Honeymooners. He's like, this would be a great YouTube channel. So we're actually still trying to get content up. We just have so much footage, like hours and hours of it, because we also had a friend join us. He met us at the Villisca Axe Murder House. His name is Michael Werzer, and he is also a director. He met us there, and he has his own footage he filmed too. We stayed the night. It's in Villisca, Iowa. The house is owned by Johnny Hauser. He's awesome. He actually does a podcast too, and it's all paranormal related. So with Nick Groff. He was on Ghost Adventures a while ago. So Villisca Axe Murder House, my all-time favorite house, the most activity ever. Just you become overcome with feelings and emotions as soon as you step in there. You can feel it. Oh my gosh. And they have the original flooring, just everything in there. It's spooky. We stayed the night and things were moving. I bought a bee and I put it in one room. We literally just stepped into the hall, came back, the bee was gone. I'm like, where's this bee at? Look over, and it's on the other side of us. And I'm like, how did that even happen? And it was caught on tape. It just disappears. And I'm like, what is this? My husband was super skeptical, didn't believe in ghosts, always made fun of me. And when we went to that house, he's like, okay, I believe you. I get it. And I'm like, okay, good. They made a point. They proved their point. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's great. Love it. That was my favorite house. It's my favorite place to go to.
Did you get any EVPs or anything from there?
We did. And we also set up cameras in like 2 different rooms. And one of them kept going on and off. And it looked like it was being adjusted and no one was in there. And I'm like, this is so creepy. You just get a vibe when you walk in there, and they have the original like walls too. So where the man who came in and axed the family up, there's still axe marks in the wall. It's insane. And there's a Ouija board. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
That explains a lot too. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's Jim's bugaboo right there.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
I am adamant against Ouija boards.
Not gonna lie, never used one. Have one, haven't touched it.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that. I love the spooky stuff, but I can't open up that door because
That's just it. You can't close that door once you open it.
yeah, I've seen the movies. I know what happens next. So yeah, no.
To veer off topic real quick, Sid Haig, when he married you guys, was he in Captain Spaulding gimmick or?
Yes.
Was he? Nice.
Full blown Captain Spaulding makeup, done by Megan Grant of Get Dead Effects. She's also makeup artist. The Get Dead crew. He was so sweet and so kind, and it was like talking to a family member. He gave me a huge hug. He walked me up on the stage. He was in character. He never broke character.
Nice.
And that was so awesome.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it was so great. I was like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. It was amazing. We were so grateful.
Cool.
You know, mentioning that, my wife and I, we went to a haunted house convention in Canada back in 2014. And we planned on getting married. It wasn't legal in Canada. I mean, but it was part of the show.
Right.
We were planning to get married anyway. And my best woman was Naomi Grossman from American Horror Story.
Stop.
Yes.
That is so awesome.
Yes, she stood up next to me while I got married.
Oh my God, I love that. That gave me chills. I love that. That's something that's rare too. That literally never happens, and it's something you can brag about. That is so cool.
It is, because I had met her in Florida at a convention, and I messaged her and said, "Hey, I'm getting married." She was the headliner. And I said, "Would you be interested in standing up with me?" She said, "Absolutely."
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so great.
She was so cool about it, and it was really fun. I wish it was for real, but we eventually did get married in 2018. But
that's so cool. Still technically got married, so that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun. So let's talk some more about the paranormal, because you've really piqued my curiosity because of everything that's going on. And what other places have you investigated besides Villisco?
So living in Arizona, we frequent trips to Jerome, which is the ghost town. I'm sure you've heard of Jerome. It's amazing there. I love it. It's a small town. Every time I go, this happened when I was like younger, like way before kids and everything. I would go there just to go. And I lived in Flagstaff, which is about 5 hours from where 3.5 hours from where I am right now. And my radio would just start changing channels on its own. And I'm like, oh my God, where am I? And then that's when I discovered Jerome. So I've always had a thing for Jerome. It's just an amazing little town. They have the haunted hamburger, which is delicious. And it's always busy because it's known for its paranormal activity. You'll see people in there that apparently aren't really there. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? So there's like a rumor that there's a cowboy who sits at the bar and people actually talk to him. And I'm like, I don't think I've seen this person, and then we've stayed at the Jerome Grand Hotel, which is amazing. And that has a huge history. And that place is super spooky for sure. We've gotten a lot of activity there. You'll catch people in the middle of the night just walking around, just talking and video and, just looking for something. So Jerome's great. I love Tombstone, Arizona, cowboy town. Everything is haunted. The Birdcage Theater is great. You get some major activity there, especially downstairs. They even have these like dummies up, and it looks like ladies of the night and cowboys, and they're all like playing poker and drinking beer and hanging out. And I really want to do an overnight there and just have the lights off. And that's all original too. Everything in there's original. And they even have the original rooms where the ladies of the night would stay. And I'm like, that is so cool. You can't go in because it's so fragile, but you can view it because they have like little windows. And I'm like, I love the Birdcage Theater. So I like the small towns that you can investigate in because they're just super creepy.
That's definitely one of the things I'd like to investigate in the future is the Birdcage Theater, because I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's great. They even have I believe they have a day and a night investigation. We've been to the day one because our kids went, and that was their first investigation. And my oldest was scared, and my youngest was like, "It's okay, they're just ghosts." And it was so great. It was amazing. But yeah, you have to go. You have to.
I also see here that you investigated Ashmore Estates.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That place was great. So driving there, it just starts pouring rain, lightning, thunder, darkness. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't good. My husband's like, no, it is. This is perfect. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna die. This is how we're gonna die. So we get there, and the rain is like coming through the cracks of the ceiling and everything. And we met Hannah, who unfortunately has passed on, and she was such a great host. She took us everywhere. We went up in all the floors. We learned the history. There's two twins that were there, and we went into their room. And that was my husband's experience, was Ashmore Estates. That's his Velisca. So he loves Ashmore. And he stood there and he talked to the twins, and then he felt something on his head, like rubbing his head. And Hannah was like, oh, they love guys. They love men. Just a warning. And they were just rubbing his head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're having an experience. I'm so happy. But it was great. Ashmore was really great. And I do have to say the thunder and the lightning and the rain just did add to it. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's very green out there too. And I know Ghost Adventures weren't there too, but there was a lot of things said about it, like, oh, it's evil, it's malicious, and this happened. That's not true. It literally was like a poorhouse for people, and there were children separated from their family, and there were some people there that they weren't bad. They were just misunderstood. Not like Jason Voorhees.
All right.
But I mean, it's just a place where people went that had nowhere else to go, and it's just sad. It's not a malicious place. It's not evil. It's an amazing place to visit.
I know the guy that used to own it.
Yeah.
Because he's a haunter.
Uh-huh.
His name's
I remember they said they did haunting, like a little haunted house there. Yeah.
His name's Scott Kelly. He used to own Ashmore Estates.
Mm-hmm.
Another one on my bucket list I haven't done.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing. That and Velisca both are that Velisca and the Birdcage are on my bucket list to do, definitely. I mean, I've done stuff on the eastern part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get the opportunity, Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh my God, I want to go there. You have no idea. That's literally on my bucket list.
I've been there 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
I have not done an entire overnight yet,
mm-hmm.
but I've done 2-hour tours.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away too much.
Right.
I want you to experience it. All I'm going to tell you is the 4th floor.
Oh my God, that's so great. That gave me chills. So now I have to go. I have to do this.
And I've investigated the Moundsville West Virginia, the former West Virginia State Penitentiary. I've done that one twice overnight.
Oh, wow. How was that one?
That one, I got some interesting things.
Oh, that's cool.
One thing that really drew my attention was I was sitting in the cafeteria and something was tugging on my pant leg.
Oh my gosh.
And I had a pair of night vision goggles and there was nothing there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
Exactly.
But what an experience.
And I had another time I was in the hospital wing area,
Mhm.
and my ex-wife at the time, who was investigating with me, she's all about orbs. It's like, there's too much that can be an orb. Just stop it.
Yes. That's true.
I had my recorder in my pocket
Mhm.
and it was running, and she's going on and on about orbs, and I reviewed the audio afterwards, and there's an ethereal voice, not mine, because this close it's going to be very pronounced.
Right.
And it said, what did you get?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've still got that recording on my computer someplace. What did you get? Very clear, but not my voice.
Weird. That's so great. I love when you pick up on voices and they're talking back to you. It's just that's what really gets the experience. Like, it makes me sad when I go into a place and I'm like, I didn't get anything. Like, do something, So that's awesome.
And let's see, Ghost Adventures, it had investigated Bobby Mackey's in
Yeah.
Kentucky. I have done that one as well.
Was it like their investigation? Like, was it crazy? And
Well, I did it with it was Shannon Sylvia and her husband Jeff from Ghost Hunters International.
oh, okay.
They were doing the investigation and I signed on, and we've had about 50 people, so they split us up.
Oh, okay.
So they had half the people down in the basement and we were up in the main bar, and we had novelist,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing was coming out of it. It was just random crap. It wasn't even talking like sometimes.
Weird.
So what they did was they said, okay, we're going to go around the room and everybody's going to ask the obelisk if it's not speaking because of you. So we started around, and people would say, are you not talking because of me? And nothing, and just garbage and garble. And it got to me, and I'm probably about 12 in, and I said, are you not speaking because of me? And it clearly said yes.
What?
So the guy that was leading our group had me step out of that area. Now I was still within earshot, but
Mm-hmm.
I was near where the mechanical bowl is, and it's separated by like a half wall.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden the obelisk is going crazy talking.
Oh my gosh. That is so great.
And while it's doing that, to my left is where, tables and bar stools are,
Mm-hmm.
and they're moving on their own.
Oh my gosh. So it is crazy there.
It is.
Just like it was with
Definitely.
Ghost Adventures, kind of.
Stuff was moving around. I could hear it, but nobody was moving it.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. I'm so sorry. Let me plug myself in here.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Yay, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I really want to go to Bobby Mackey's too. I remember watching that. They were super young when they went too. And I'm like, wow, it's been around for so long and people still investigate there.
But Zach instigated the wrong thing too, that one.
Always. He's always looking for trouble, it seems. It never fails.
When we took our turn down in the basement, we went to the gateway to hell, the well there. Not a whole lot happened.
Yeah.
Towards the other end of the basement, we were all talking. Now there's only ambient light. There's no lighting going on down there at the time. All right.
Right.
And I'm standing about 3 feet away from the guy that's leading the group,
Mm-hmm.
and an entire black mass moves in between us.
Oh my gosh.
I could see nothing for 5 seconds. And when it finally cleared, he looked at me and goes, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Yes, I did. Did you?" He says, "Because I couldn't see you."
Wow. There's so much evil there. It's just, oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's such an experience though. You never forget it.
Definitely, and I used to
Yeah.
be the biggest skeptic in the world. So
It seems like when they know, they're like, we're gonna show you. We are here. Best
Yep.
believe we're here. Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. I love that. That's so fun. I need to go there too.
So this is where we're going to build up to our story.
Mhm.
Here it comes, folks.
Yay!
We should probably see if like people that listen to the show could tell the story for you.
Take a poll. What happens?
For those of you listening, I'm sorry, but you're going to hear this until after it's done.
Right.
I haven't heard it yet.
I am assuming that you've seen the movie The Conjuring.
Yes, I love that movie.
Last year, we made a booking,
Uh-huh.
and on September 9th of this year, myself, my wife, Donnie, his wife, and 2 other friends
Uh-huh.
are going to investigate the original Conjuring house.
You shut your mouth. No, you're not. Are you really?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yes.
And I've never done an investigation, so I'm swinging for the fences on my first one.
You are going for the big leagues on this one because that is so serious. Oh my God.
I told him I'm just going to wear adult diapers and just keep going.
Do with a flashlight. Like, don't touch me. Oh my God, that is so amazing. Oh my God, I'm excited for this.
I have been accruing equipment ever since we made the booking.
Absolutely. You have to.
I've got an 8-camera night vision DVR system ready to go.
Oh my God, that's so great.
I've got 2 full spectrum infrared cameras.
Oh my God.
I've got the thermal camera I just purchased.
Yes.
I've got an infrared trail camera. I've got audio equipment.
Oh my God, that is so great.
I am so stoked for this investigation.
Absolutely. And it's in September. It's like fall. It's going to be the perfect weather. Oh my God, because that house is, I just think it's beautiful. I'm so excited for you guys. It's going to be so great.
Oh, it's going to be something for sure, and I can't wait to see what we get.
I know. It's going to be so spooky. Who's going to get possessed?
Probably me. It's my luck.
I know, it's like, I don't want this, okay? But yeah, that's how it usually goes.
I practice Wicca.
Yes.
So we have ways to protect people.
Yes.
We've got spell bags and protection
I
charms.
see you. Yes. That's so great. Oh my God, that's smart. Yeah, definitely go in there prepared for sure.
And one thing that I always personally do is I make sure I wear silver.
Yes, that's smart.
Yeah. And that's what I told everybody that's going to be on this is wear some silver. We'll take care of the rest, but we're going to do our best to make sure nobody brings anything home with them.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Especially
Not from that house. Not from that house. Oh my God, that is so amazing.
My wife doesn't do scary and spooky too much, and she's never done one either. So she's already claimed she's going to be staying at the control center watching the monitors.
She's like, I've got to do something, but I'm not going in there. I'll be right
Right.
here watching. Yeah.
She's gonna watch the monitors when something gets Donnie, you know. It's
Right.
like,
When she's going to watch me poop myself, and then she's going to sit there.
Like, I told you.
Yeah. Right.
Told you so. Oh my God, that's so amazing. That's gonna be great.
it is.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you guys get.
Oh, it's gonna be I'm gonna have to pour over evidence for a while once we get it back, but
For sure. That is so great. I
I'm
love that.
too. That's gonna
Are
be
we
fun.
are we allowed to do like Facebook Lives and stuff from there, or are we
Well,
not allowed?
No, we
Huh?
should be all right as long as
So yeah,
long
we
as
should do that with go on the WrestleHorror Facebook page and do a live while we're there.
yeah, we can pop on and say, hey, we're here at the Conjuring House, and
Yes, please do. Oh my God, I'll be tuning in for sure.
hi, we're here at the Conjuring House. Here it is. Right? Hi, we're here at the Conjuring House. Donnie just got kidnapped by a demon, but
We don't know where he is.
Right. We don't know where he's at.
Somewhere.
but yeah, I don't. As long as we've got connection, either Wi-Fi or cellular, we should be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless the spirits intervene and they're like, no, no, no,
Mhm.
no, you're ours. So no one's gonna see you.
Have him behind us photo bombing us like, hey.
Exactly. Then you don't see it till later.
Right.
It's like, wait, I don't remember that.
You look behind you, you'll see this.
Exactly. That's so great. It's going to be awesome.
It is.
Super epic.
Yes, very, very much so. So okay, I've told the story again.
Again.
I love it. I haven't heard it. So yes. Thank you for sharing. I can't wait. I'm going to stay tuned for sure. I hope you guys can get on so everyone can see, like what you're seeing when you walk in there. Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Mhm.
We're gonna just definitely try to get some of it on there.
Yeah.
Show people, hey, this is where we are. We're in the Conjuring House. Da 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 da. And we'll
Yes.
go from there. But it's a full overnight.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We're there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
That is so amazing. You guys aren't going to sleep at all.
We're gonna be from 6 to 8 in the morning. So yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have breakfast with the ghost. It's going to be great.
But we're looking forward to it. And our other two people, actually, one of the people that's coming with us is, we have to throw wrestling in here a little bit. She's a pro wrestler locally here. So.
Oh, cool. That'll be fun. Oh my God.
And then we're all going to Salem, Massachusetts afterwards.
No, you're not. That's on my bucket list too. I really want to go.
She's like, I'm coming with you guys.
Oh my God. That is so great. That literally is a place I want to go. A friend of ours went out there, her and her husband, I think it was a year ago, and they got us this really cool door knocker. And it's like, should we put on the door? Is it going to freak everyone out? Because it's like a Baphomet head and it's heavy and it's like metal. And I'm like, this came from Salem. Like, I don't want to put it outside. It's beautiful, but I've seen pictures and I just love the vibe. I heard it's crazy in October, like busy, like crazy busy.
Very crazy busy in October, but it's got a great vibe. It's a great city.
Yeah.
My wife and I were just there April of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I went once back in the mid 2000s, but it's a really cool vibe. The energy there is just amazing.
That's so great.
Everybody's so nice, and they got this one restaurant that's got the most amazing breakfast, really cheap. So
Oh, that's even better. That's so great. Yeah, that's on my bucket list for sure. Oh, you guys are gonna have fun. I'm gonna have to definitely watch your post.
yes,
Fun.
we do. But let's talk a little bit more about you. We've been talking about all this about me. Let's talk about you.
Hey, it's interesting stuff, you know.
So it says here that you guys you mentioned doing the true crime memorabilia.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So on the website, we do have a section called the Serial Killer Collection. And that's everything. It's printed on demand. So we don't have it just sitting. It actually is shipped from overseas. So everything's like hand stitched. And so that's a big thing. That's one of our like best sellers. And we got into true crime, I don't know, I would say probably about a few years ago. So, not naming him, but I have a cousin who was a serial killer when he was alive. He's no longer here. And he did some really bad stuff. Obviously, they're not the greatest people, but his was a little too much. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell people who he is.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I was like, oh wow, really? Well, that explains a lot about me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So my husband and I just slowly started getting into it. The Charles Manson really intrigued me for some reason. So living so close to California, we travel out there often, and I actually shot a film out there a few years ago with my friend Jen Nangle, who is also an indie horror actress and filmmaker. It was her Halloween special. So on our way home, my husband and I stopped, and our kids were with us. We stopped at Spawn Ranch. I was like, this would be a cool place to visit. So we stopped by, and it's all overgrown with trees, and it's just hard to find. I don't know how he found it, but he found it. We found the trail to go down. It's really dangerous in a sense because of all the creatures out there, like the snakes and stuff. But there were other people like riding their bikes and running, and I'm like, everyone's just hanging out in Spawn Ranch, like it's a great place to be. And then we found like the rock where the Manson family took a photo in. So we actually recreated that photo. It's like, hey kids, what'd you do over the summer? You know, it's like, oh, we went to the Spawn Ranch. So I don't know why I'm intrigued by him. Because I look at him, he wasn't really a serial killer. He was like a cult leader, and he just like manipulated your mind. He didn't do anything, but he had other people do it for him, right? Everyone else is over here getting their hands dirty. So it's intriguing. It's weird yet intriguing to me. So we have a lot of his things. I have a lock of his hair. I have crime scene tape from the Spawn Ranch. We've been to Zach Bagans Museum in Las Vegas. And then we went and he has some stuff of Charles Manson's from prison. And then we went to, it's called, what is it called? The Museum of Death. That was in Los Angeles. We've been there twice. And going in there, they had the quilt made by the Manson girls. And I'm like, wow, this is super cool. So I don't know what it is, but it's intriguing. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by Charles Manson. It's super weird. Don't know why. But it's just like, what is going on in their brain? Like, why are you like this? Why do you do the things you do? But somehow it's a thing. It's popular. And that is literally our bestseller on Grave Dirt is the Serial Killer Collection. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I know all the documentaries and stuff. That's became like the most popular thing going pretty much. Like everybody's watching serial killer documentaries and everything.
Yeah. And did you see these memes? Like, I just love watching serial killer documentaries in the rain, like when it's raining and blah, blah, blah. So it's like a thing. It's weird. I don't know why it's intriguing, but it is. But my favorite serial killer is Dexter Morgan.
Absolutely.
But he held a purpose. It was bad guys.
Yep.
So
that's why I told my wife, we were joking around one night, because I'm a big Dexter fan. That's like my favorite TV show. And I was like, if I could like just kill all the bad people like he does and get away with it, I'd probably do it.
It's like, look at the good he's doing, you
Right.
know? Like, I love that show. It's so great.
Did you like the new season that just came out?
So at the beginning, the first few episodes, yes. And then I was not too happy after that. And I think it's because I was used to seeing him in Miami,
right,
seeing Rita and the kids, and then Batista, and seeing everyone from Miami Metro. And it's like, that's Dexter's element, you know, and everyone, no one knew what he was, you know, so that's what I'm used to seeing.
right.
So the last episode of that, when he like became the lumberjack or whatever, I'm like, what the heck is this? So then they get the new season. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. They're going to redeem themselves. I cried on the last episode. I just sat there and tears just poured. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. I was like, I'm so mad at you, Harrison. I'm so mad at you right now.
Right.
You know, like, Dexter did a lot for you. You don't even know, you know, and I was just so upset. And I legit cried. But I also understood, after I grieved for 2 weeks, why it happened. And I get it. It had to come to a close. Michael C. Hall was a part of that. And he's like, yeah, you know, I think it's time. But I liked the first few episodes. And I liked how, you know, him and Harrison uncovered, you know, Clancy's character, who was killing all the women and embalming them, you know, so I get that. That was cool, but I just hated how it ended. It made me sad. I'm not lying. I'm watching everything over, not New Blood, everything over again, because I have the DVD set for the second time. I'm like, I am reliving my moment here. Like,
right.
Can't take this away.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say I enjoyed it. Like I said, I got it, you know, why they did what they did. I just didn't care. I don't like snow and ice, even though I live in Ohio. So just being like you said, he was out of his element. I would have rather him been back in, you know, Miami and all that. But yeah, I mean, I was happy just to have Dexter movie or TV back.
Me too. I was so happy. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I'm like, this isn't Dexter. What's going on? Jim Lindsay. What? Okay.
So, you know, your talents just keep popping up here. I mean, you've already covered so much, but you also do voiceover work. I mean, what can't you do?
I don't have a green thumb. I have a black thumb, so I buy cactus.
There you go.
Can't keep a plant alive to save my life.
Yeah, my dad actually bought my wife one, because my wife's the same way. She can't grow plants. So it was either a birthday or Christmas, I can't remember. He bought her a cactus.
Absolutely. They live forever. You just water it every once in a while and, you know, check on it. Yeah. I love my cactus. So many. I love my cactuses.
I had a friend years ago when I used to be part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I did a live cast.
That's cool.
You know, and I played Eddie.
Oh, that's great.
My friend, she helped train us when we first started. And she played Columbia with me a couple of times. She's awesome. And her name was Brielle, and she could do anything. I mean, she was a seamstress. She was a choreographer. She was this, she was that, she was the other. And I looked at her one day, I looked at her and said, is there anything you cannot do? And she went, get a girl pregnant.
That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Other than that, she's got you covered.
She was good with comebacks too. She's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna say.
It's just like, you know, you're so multi-talented. It reminded me of her. And
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That made my day.
how do you keep up with all this?
Oh my gosh, lots of caffeine. I love my coffee. I won't drink an energy drink, but I love my coffee. But yeah, I also, on top of everything you're saying, I'm in school to be an embalmer. That I have my 2 girls I'm raising my husband. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, we do a lot, and it's like, it really is live every day like it's your last. You never know. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And why not do things you love, and, share your passions with the world, and chase your dreams and see what happens. I literally never thought would ever be in a movie or even make movies. I'm like, oh, it's too difficult. It's too hard. There's always an excuse, but it's like, no, you can do it, and then when you have children, they look up to you. You want to be that role model, like, hey, you can do this. If you want to do this, you can do it. So we literally just took the bull by the horns, and we're like, hey, we're going to have online store, we're going to have a production company, we're going to film movies in isolation, you're going to do this cosplay you want to do, like I've done Baby Firefly, that was my most recent, Dexter, like it, and then like hanging out with people. I never thought I'd hang out with Sid Haig, like who would have thought, and just last weekend or the weekend before, my husband filmed Vanilla Ice and Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray. Never thought I'd meet them in my life and just be so close. It's like, you literally have to live every day like it's your last, and I'm like, I can sleep when I'm dead.
Right.
Coffee. Coffee.
Have you ever had Death Wish coffee?
I have not, but I've heard good things about it.
I haven't either. It kind of scares me, actually.
It's like, I'm not sure about that by the name.
Very highly caffeinated.
Yes, I love my caffeine. I wake up and I'm like, caffeine, like, just makes my day.
So, Jessica, why don't you give us all the social media stuff, so people can find out more about you and your production company and everything else you want to talk about.
Yes. So on Twitter, you can find me at Jessica Stabbit. You can also find me on Facebook. My personal page is Sarah Schultz. My other page is Jessica Stabbit. Then we have Morehouse Films. We just reached 11,000 followers, which is awesome. We also have Grave Dirt Clothing on Facebook as well. My husband is Josh Schultz. And we have Hawk Edition Studio, which is his video production company on the side. So then moving on to Instagram, you can find my husband at The Wicked One. You can find Grave Dirt Clothing. You can find Morehouse Films, and then me at Jessica Stabbit official _666. So you can find us on all the networks. And don't forget about YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Morehouse Films, for free content.
Now, before we go, I was almost remiss in not letting Donnie ask the question that we always ask.
Oh yeah, I was so wrapped up in the talk, I forgot all about it, to be honest.
I remembered.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it's we have this question that we ask all of our guests, and it's just for fun. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
We just like to get inside to the minds of our guests to see if they're as twisted as we are. So it's kind of a put them on the spot type of thing, just to see what they come up with.
Okay.
So the question is, and this is probably going to be pretty easy for you. If you are the main serial killer in your own horror film, what is your go-to kill?
My go-to kill, like my weapon?
Yeah, what's your main kill? Like, yeah, like Jason has the machete, or how would you kill people? What would be your signature kill?
Oh, it would be a high heel. The heel is shaped, the shoe is shaped like, this is very Quentin Tarantino. The shoe is shaped like a pistol, right? Like it just looks like one. And then the butt of the gun, that's it. Slice them and dice them and go on. No one will ever know.
Nice.
And we keep the streak alive. Never to see it once or twice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Check the heels.
If we ever meet, I had to make sure I got to check the high heels. I don't want to get stabbed.
Right.
I'll wear flats.
There you go.
So this has been an absolute refreshing break from all the wrestling we've been doing lately. Thank you so much, Jessica, for coming on and
Thank
sharing
you.
a lot of some amazing stuff. And I'm going to go subscribe to your YouTube channel and check out some of your content. And
Thank you.
we'd love to have you on again in the future because this was really fun.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that would definitely be amazing. Just let me know. I appreciate you guys having me on. This is an honor. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. It was fun.
Yes.
Yes.
For myself, Meathook Jim, Donnie Hoover, and our special guest, Jessica Stabbit, this is the WrestleHorror Podcast, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
See you guys.
Bye.